Hi, it's the police. Did you need help?
They answer the call when you're in danger. And on their wall, they remind themselves they're the glue that holds it all together. Bakersfield police dispatchers are rarely seen, but they're the ones you need to talk to in order to get help in an emergency. And this week, BPD is looking to add new recruits to their command center.
They're entry-level police dispatcher, and basically what they do is they answer incoming calls, 911 calls, non-emergency line calls, and our admin line calls, as well as handle primary operations on our channels for dispatch to police officers.
Smith says they need between 7 to 10 dispatchers a shift in order to keep up with the high call volume.
We averaged last year 765,000 incoming calls. We also dispatched calls for service of 270,000 plus calls for service, which averages out to about 2,000 to 2,500 calls per day.
To keep up with the demand, Smith says BPD is always on the lookout for new recruits. She says having to have staff work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year makes for scheduling conflicts, and the high-stress job isn't for everyone. So they're always on the lookout for future dispatchers.
It's a stressful job. Some people can't handle the stress of answering a call and someone's screaming, answering another call and someone's being argumentative or maybe verbally abusive to them.
Ingrid Rincon is 6 months through her 12-month training period. She says despite the high-stress work environment, being a dispatcher is rewarding.
And I had a caller call, and she was going through a tough time and she was crying, so I took the time to talk to her, and I was just talking to her like as a friend. So at the end of the call, she told me how much she appreciated just talking to me. So I felt like that was the rewarding part. I'm like, man, I changed her day.
Someone is advising you that someone's driving at a high rate of speed or erratically down Rosedale. What's the call type going to be for that?
Rincon grew up in Bakersfield and says being a dispatcher is her way of giving back to her hometown.
To be able to know that they don't see you, but yet you are able to help them in the worst day of their life. So when they're in a crisis, you help them out.
In order to become a trainee like Rincon, Smith says you have to be over 18, be able to type at least 35 words a minute, be able to multitask under pressure, and have an understanding of Bakersfield.
You also have to be able to pass a written test that's provided, and then you have to have an oral interview where you have to pass the oral interview as well. After that, there's an extensive background check.
You said someone out of high school who's 18 can be qualified for this position. What do they need to do in order to apply for this job?
They can go online and apply at our website. They can also go in person to our human resources and apply. On January 24th, we'll be holding an orientation where they'll have the opportunity to ask questions.
If you're interested in becoming a dispatcher, Smith suggests you work on your typing skills, learn more about the Bakersfield Police Department, and study a map of Bakersfield.
I mean, I thought I knew Bakersfield, but just knowing what I knew before, it helped me out. But now that I work here, I know Bakersfield a lot more than I thought I could.
Starting salary for a BPD dispatcher is between $16 to $22 an hour with benefits. And Smith says raises come regularly.
You get a rate increase, we call a step increase at 6 months of completion of the 6 months, and then after that, every year you get a step increase raise.
Bakersfield Police will host a public orientation on Thursday, January 24th about becoming a BPD dispatcher. Then in February, officers plan to host the written and oral exams. And a trainee like Rincon says, if you like helping people, it's worth learning more about becoming a dispatcher.
It's a journey. It's a journey, and it's stressful, but it's very rewarding. So at the end of the day, it's worth it.